Hey everybody, it's Grant from Grant Bakes, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to get an amazing ear on your sourdough bread. I'll show you how I shape, score, and bake my sourdough bread to get explosive oven spring, and this method is great because it works for almost any sourdough bread recipe. Before we get to the shaping step, here's what you should know about the bulk fermentation or the first rise. You want to stop the first rise when the dough has doubled in size. To get a good ear on your bread, you'll need nice oven spring, and for that, you don't want to overproof or underproof your dough. So stopping the bulk fermentation at around double in size is ideal. To get a good ear on my sourdough bread, I always shape the dough as an oval. I use this 10-inch Banneton basket to hold the dough. Forming your dough into a round shape or a boule isn't really ideal for getting an ear because the surface tension across the top of the dough is just a little bit different. So get yourself an oval-shaped Banneton basket if you can. Now to shape the dough into an oval, we are first going to shape it into a ball. That's called the pre-shape, and then we're going to let it rest for a little bit, and then later we'll give it its final shape as an oval. So here's how I usually like to pre-shape my dough. I just take the dough and place it onto a clean kitchen counter. You don't need any flour on the counter or on the dough at this point. And then using your hands, form the dough into a ball using a cupping and pulling motion like this. You're turning the dough and pulling it across the counter, and every time you do that, the surface tension on top of the dough is tightening. Feel free to pop any of those excess bubbles that are on the top of the dough. You can just smack them. Now, one of the reasons we pre-shape the dough into a ball first is because it gives the dough a lot of structure. It's going to hold together nicely as a round ball, then it'll rest for a little bit, and then later it'll be easier to shape it into an oval. So once you've got your dough pre-shaped into a ball, let it rest on the counter uncovered for 30 minutes. After the 30-minute rest, brush some bread flour on top of the dough to create a nonstick barrier. It's now time to give the dough its final shape as an oval, and this shaping method will be key in creating an ear on your sourdough bread. So flip your dough over so the flour-dusted side is now down against the counter and the sticky side is facing up. Then gently pull on the corners of the dough to form it into a square. Now once you have a square-shaped dough, fold the left third of the dough over the middle third and press the dough down so that it sticks. And then take the right third of the dough, stretch it out, and fold it up over the middle third as well. Press the dough down so it sticks, forming a seam down the middle of the dough. So once the dough is folded and has a seam running down the middle, it's time to roll the dough into a log. Start on the far end of the dough and roll the dough into itself until the whole dough is rolled into a log. You want to roll relatively tightly without knocking out too much of the air that's inside of the dough. And once you've rolled up your dough, it should look something like this. It has a smooth top and a seam underneath against the counter. This shaping technique is key for getting an ear on your sourdough bread because it creates surface tension across the top of the dough, running right to left, side to side. Then later, when your dough is proofed, you're going to score it with one long slash going up and down. And then right after that, you'll bake the bread in the oven and it will spring up, bursting open along that score mark, creating the perfect ear. The last thing to do for shaping is to smooth out the two ends of the dough. So I like to take this flap, stretch it out, and then fold it under the dough and smooth out the edge a little bit. Then turn the dough over to the other side, stretch out the other flap, and fold it under the dough, smoothing it out. That's the perfect oval-shaped dough to fit in your Banneton basket. So grab your 10-inch Banneton basket and flip your dough over so that it's smooth side facing down and seam side facing up, and place it upside down into the Banneton, and that is all you need to do. Now for my beginner sourdough bread recipe, I cover the dough up and let it rise at room temperature for 1 hour. That way the dough gets a little head start on the fermentation, it gets a little bit puffy before we put it in the fridge for the cold proof. And using the fridge to your advantage is really great when you're trying to get an ear on your sourdough bread because the fridge makes the dough cold and cold dough is easier to score. So move your dough to the fridge, cover it up once it's in there, and let it rest in the fridge for anywhere between 8 and 24 hours. Then the next day, preheat your oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit 30 minutes before you're ready to bake with a Dutch oven inside. Then when your oven is preheated, pull your dough out of the fridge and the dough should be nice and cold and easy to score. That brings us to the scoring method, which is actually pretty simple. Start by loosening the edges of the dough from the Banneton basket just so it doesn't stick to the basket, and then get a sheet of parchment paper that is cut to be just a little bit larger than your dough. Flip the dough out onto the parchment paper and then brush off any excess flour. Now it's time to actually score, so get out a razor blade or one held inside a dough lamb like this, and you're going to be scoring the dough in one long shallow slash. It'll appear curved, but you don't actually make a curved line when you're scoring the dough. All you need to do is score a relatively straight line from the top to the bottom at a shallow angle, and then when the dough bursts open in the oven, the final bread will kind of look like the line was curved, but it's not actually curved. So hold the razor blade at a shallow angle and then score the dough in one long slash from the far end of the dough to the near end of the dough, just like this. And then because this dough still has some room left to grow in the oven spring, the dough will burst open along this score mark, creating an ear. Now it is time to bake, so transfer the dough, parchment paper and all, into the hot Dutch oven. This is key to getting your dough to burst open along that score mark, is baking in a hot Dutch oven. The Dutch oven is hot for one, but it also traps steam around the dough, allowing it to rise properly. Bake the dough for 20 minutes with the lid on, and then remove the lid to release the steam. The dough should be fully risen at this point, and if everything has gone according to plan, you should see a nice ear formed on your dough. Now that the dough is fully risen, we don't need to trap steam around the dough anymore, so we're going to keep the Dutch oven lid off. But to make sure the dough is fully baked and with proper color, we need to bake this for another 15 to 20 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. 15 minutes later, this is what my bread looked like. I'm very happy with the golden brown color and the nice explosive oven spring that the loaf had, as well as, of course, the extra crusty ear that formed along the side of the loaf. If you're following along with this video using these tips on your own sourdough bread, I hope you're as happy with your loaf as I am with mine, and if you want to make my recipe for beginners sourdough bread, check out this video right here.